Deep in the swamps of Florida, in an abandoned mall, lies one of the original pioneers in virtual production, View Technologies in Tampa, Florida. In this video, we're going to take a complete tour of View's studio, from their massive main volume to their smaller stage that they're using to make virtual production more accessible.
Why don't you guys come along?
What's up? I'm here at View Studios in Tampa. I'm here with Jamie. You're gonna give us a tour of the studio.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for being here.
So what's the space that we're in right now with View Studios?
This is not only our first studio that we established, but our headquarters as well. So we are in a mall that is transitioning from once being a bustling mall next to the USF campus to one day being more of like a tech and innovation hub where other businesses set up shop here, which is a really cool idea. We were the first one in that space. So right now we're standing at what used to be a Journey's shoe store and our LED volume, which we'll see eventually, is now inside what used to be a Joann's Fabric. So, let it be known that anything is possible. Virtual production can happen anywhere.
All right, cool. So let's go check it out.
Let's go take a look. Our owners like to have fun with their space. Things like hidden bathroom doors, or of course, we can go and find the speakeasy through our hidden door. So nice. Why don't you guys come along? So this is our stage 3, is what we call it.
Okay.
Or the theater room, rather.
All right. What do we got going on here?
This is about a 20 foot by 16 foot, 2.9 pixel pitch wall. Fun fact about this wall is this is the first wall View ever purchased. So really? We bought this wall way back in 2021, and I feel like in VP terms, way back when is appropriate when talking about 2021. But this is great. I mean, this is kind of the wall that former Diamond View Studios, which our owners, Tim and John, started that company. This was the wall that they purchased to keep their business alive when the pandemic shut down all on-set production.
Those are the very first virtual production wall.
Very first virtual production wall. They found a company in Shenzhen, wired all of their company savings over to it on a hope and a prayer that it would be the solution in the shutdown while everyone was working from home. And it was. In 2021 is when they officially started the View Technologies. And we've been building ever since.
Jamie isn't just talking about building their larger stage 1, which we'll get to in a minute. View has built 3 additional studios, expanding to Nashville, Las Vegas, and back to Florida and Orlando. But the smaller studio is now a flagship example of View 1, View's move to simplify and productize virtual production. For one flat fee, View will set up a wall, media server, and computers necessary to have your own LED volume. Powering this wall is Virtual Studio, View's online software that provides an easy interface to load images and video onto the wall and quickly modify it. This eliminates the need for having to use Unreal Engine or other complicated 3D software. In addition to being able to load your own backgrounds, Virtual Studio comes with a collection of stock options, or you can use AI to generate your own backgrounds, which is actually good enough for Final Pixel. Now, of course, the types of videos you can shoot on this wall with Virtual Studio will be limited, but their target use cases include talking head videos, product shots, and corporations who want to level up their client presentations. For this setup in Tampa, they're actually renting it out by the hour for events and creators. So if you are a creator, what does the space rent for an hour if you want to just pop into a virtual studio?
Yeah, and here in Tampa, in this particular studio, it's $350 an hour, minimum of 2 hours. So super affordable for your local content creators. We want to make virtual production accessible to everybody. Rising tide lifts all boats. So if you only make it exclusive, expensive rates for your large studios, how are we ever going to get the smaller companies integrated in? Because we want them to pitch it to their clients.
So where are we now?
Okay, so now we're in stage 1. This is what we call our volume. It is a 270-degree semicircle, 17 feet high. If you were to flatten it out, it's 100 feet long. This is a 3.9 pixel pitch, so definitely a little bit wider than most people are typically used to. Again, we built this back in 2021. Our ceiling is also a 3.9 pitch, but what makes the ceiling pretty unique is we removed every other strip of LED to make it more of a transparent ceiling. So, once you step in here, you can already kind of hear the echo bounce off the wall.
Yeah.
But what's great about having a transparent ceiling is it allows sound to escape through the top, so it's not a cave. As we pump haze in, it allows the haze to leave, so we're not hotboxing the talent. And then you can also put practical lights above and punch them through.
So okay, so anything you could shine lights through, it'll come in through the LED.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
which is great.
That's very interesting. Tracking wise, let's see what do we got. Mo-Sys?
We got a couple of things going on. So the truth be told, here in Tampa, we really use this because this is our headquarters. It's also an R&D site. So we're always testing out and trying out new pieces of hardware for manufacturers. So we really got our start using Mo-Sys. Mo-Sys has been really good to us. So we have the tracking stars everywhere. In fact, in our ceiling, the tracking stars are actually manufactured into the ceiling panels. So now you can do tracking under here with tracking stars and not have any disruption.
And so this was your first build. How have your subsequent builds differed? Like, what have you learned? What's changed as you've built?
Well, the biggest notable difference between this volume and our other volumes is all of our other 3 volumes for our corporate studios are in a J shape. So this is the only non-flat option volume, and it's also the most immersive. But all the rest of them, we like having a nice long flat stretch to come into that volumetric space, and then of course with a ceiling on top.
Okay, and so that just gives you more flexibility in types of shots you can get?
So a couple things, we ask DPs a lot of time, especially in the early days when there really wasn't a lot of information about virtual production going on. So we asked, hey, what did you like? What did you not like? What could have made this experience better? And one common thing was being able to have a flat option if we needed it. And in here, clearly we don't have that. Another great thing about having a J shape is you can separate your volume into 2 distinct scenes. So let's say you're shooting a beach scene, and let's say you have a driving plate scene. You can put your driving plate in the volume, and you can set your beach scene up on the flat portion. And of course, we all know, you mitigate company moves with virtual production. Now, really, all you're doing is you're just moving 20 feet over to the next scene, and you're getting
like art department could already start building both
100%.
sets. They don't have to wrap this, clear it out,
That's right.
bring in the new props or bring in the new set.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Real quick, if you are enjoying this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And now back to our interview. Tech-wise, what kind of panels we're running?
Yeah.
What's sort of some of the tech that's running, powering everything?
So we're relatively hardware agnostic. There's a lot of great companies out there producing a lot of great things. So we try to have a lot of great relationships with all of them, as well as even do a little R&D with it for them, right? As it relates to panels, the 2 deep relationships we have right now are with Unilumin and Absen. They've made incredible leaps and bounds in the virtual production realm, making panels specifically for virtual production. But if somebody requests Row, if somebody requests Samsung or any other panel out there, absolutely, we can totally work with any of that hardware. Of course, our processors, the big 3, Novistar, Brompton, Megapixel. Again, there are pros and cons to each, and we can make recommendations based on their specific needs or budget. And then as it relates to computers, media servers, we work with Puget. Puget makes we custom build the computers with Puget for our render and artist nodes, running A6000 NVIDIA cards. And for us personally, we run vanilla directly to the wall without using any type of media source or server in the middle. But if somebody says, hey, I really want to run Disguise, that's fine too. We can totally work with that.
What's been the coolest scene that you've built here, or they've shot here?
The coolest thing we've done here. Well, I can know from the people, we've had 2 big Toms, Tom Cruise and Tom Brady, do shoots in here. WWE has taken over our set, and we had Lockheed Martin here on a moon base one time, so a lot of really cool stuff.
Controlling the entire stage is the brain bar. In a lot of volumes, this is a series of tables towards the back of the stage, where technicians can control the wall. But View is able to elevate their brain bar, which they found helps streamline communication and keeps the technicians out of the way of the camera and lighting crew. And back in the corner, and also slightly elevated, is the producer deck. This is a really great design element to give a spot for producers and clients to be on set, oversee everything, have their laptop set up, but not be in the way of the crew.
This is just more, open space, of course. This is great for, crafty or just hangout spots. Coming in here, this is our hair and makeup room.
That's nice.
Green room, just all in all, place for talent to get prepped or to take a step away.
Yeah, this is a nice spot. And I guess you got TV here, so
yeah,
you can see the feed as well.
See the feed. Sometimes our talent is particular. They want to set up a PlayStation sometimes. They can come in here and mess around while other things are happening, whatever they want, I
can't do a PlayStation on the volume.
That would be fun. Yeah, we could do that too for the right price. But yeah, 3 hair and makeup chairs. We got some changing rooms back here. you know, and then of course this is locked off, you know, so whatever they need.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks a lot, Jamie. I really appreciate the tour.
Yeah,
and the
absolutely.
time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about Vue, check out my interview with Tim Moore, the CEO.